Okay, here we are. So today's class, this is a fun one. I sure hope they can hear me on my dedication. Today's class is, I'll go like that. Today's class is dedicated to watermelons. And you're like, what? It's National Watermelon Day. I'm doing this so they can hear me. It's National Watermelon Day, and it's you might think like, how in the heck does that fit in with yoga? It does. One thing is that your yoga instructor, I am made of watermelon because my mother craved watermelon. She told me again and again the whole time she was pregnant with me. And back in the day, and I was born in November, so back in the day, you couldn't get watermelon year round. It was one of those things that had to be in season. So she kind of suffered like October, November, not having the watermelon she craved. And in the Sicilian culture, it's not good to not give in to your cravings. So she was very worried about how it would turn out. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Anyways, I do love watermelon. Most people do. And I just want to say it's like it's the only food in the world classified as both vegetable and fruit. And I think of like fruits of the season, fruits of your yoga practice, and then I think of all the benefits. Like watermelon is really good for sore throat, very good for arthritis, for your joints, for sore muscles. Let's see, eye health. It's on legal arthritis. Find all these things on muscle tension. It's an anti-inflammatory. So there you go. So for all it's worth, that's the day's dedication is just, really the fruits of the earth, Okay, and then we're starting, and that, it's time. Let's circle. And today's session, it's about being strong. And it's called elixir yoga. You know how, let's reverse the circles. Things are trendy. Well, there's a trendy new way to do yoga. It's called elixir. But we're not going to do exactly the elixir way, but these are the poses that they work with. So we'll do elixir yoga a la Fran, my way. And then we'll take the legs wide. Good. And there are 7 in here. Nice, I didn't count them here on the screen, lots of little boxes. So we're circling, and then circle the other way. So we finally got music going. We figured out that the little cable that goes from iPhone to the stereo didn't work, so I brought my own cable in and it works. Alrighty, and then from here, we're coming onto our backs, and we have a few movements right on our backs. So it's going to start out with bridge pose. So your feet press down, your pelvis comes up, you're clasping your hands, tucking the shoulders underneath you, and lifting your pelvis up high. And we are looking at the strength aspect of bridge. There's a stretch too, you can't deny that. Opening, but also strength. How do you get your pelvis up high? From here, bring your feet just a little closer in, and you'll take your right leg up in the air. Your right toes pointed. And breathe. And then reverse. Right foot down, left leg up in the air. Good. And release. Now heels are up. Lower your pelvis. Do a little pelvic tilt. And then reaching for your feet. Happy baby. Feet are wide, knees are wide. Good. You can rock if you want, you can stay centered, but you can also grab hold of your big toes, go wide as a V, or you can grab hold of your heels That's more advanced, and going wide as a V, we get to really reach, and it's inner thigh stretch. And so go wide as a V. And then release, bringing your feet down. Now, you're going to take your right ankle over left. And let's go side, side. So you're just gonna, it reminds you a little bit of a windshield wiper, but your right ankle is over left thigh. And really try to go way over to the left and way over to the right. Turn your head opposite of the legs. So your head is going left, right. And then from here, continue to press your left foot down into the mat, lift up high. And all the while, you're trying to externally rotate your right thigh without letting your right hip drop down. That's a conundrum. I mean, that's not easy to do. So what you could do is you could have your elbows bent, palms facing each other, or your hands flat or clasped. That helps if you clasp. Helps you to get up a little higher. Now release, keeping your legs as they are, and thread the needle. Right hand threads the needle, reaching your left kneecap, and draw the leg in. Right ankle flex. Outside right hip stretch. And then you can also lift your head. If your neck feels okay with that, so maybe you bring your head towards shin bones. Some are like, not going to happen. So you just draw your head closer to leg. And then lower your head and straighten your left leg. If you can go further, unthread your arm and then reach for your calf muscle, your ankle, or your foot. Good. And again, you can lift your head if you want, or keep your head lowered. And then release, and let's go ahead and do second side. So left leg crosses over, left ankle over right thigh. Start out with your little robot arms. Elbows bent, palms facing each other, and then press on up. I have it. Yeah, how you have a better mask, it's a little bigger. It's like, why can't I breathe? Okay, and then as you're here again, clasping, let's go ahead and press up one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then lowering, and then as you lower, you're going to thread the needle. So grab hold, left hand threads the needle, grab hold of your right knee, left ankle flexed, and you've got a nice outside hip stretch. You got it. And you may also want to lift your head. It's safest on your knee if your ankle is flexed. And then release. Did we do the side already? No. Okay, so let's go ahead and go side on this side. You're shifting. Yep. And then we release. All right, so let me see, did I do? I don't know if I did one.
What about the straight leg?
Straightening the leg. I'm like, wait a minute, I went to get the mask and then everything just changed. Okay, so come back to threading the needle and then straightening your leg. Yep, your right leg. And that might be it for you, or maybe you can go higher up, so then you unthread the left arm, and that's when you start to reach for your ankle, for your foot. Breathing. Your head could be down or head is raised, like the hamstring stretch. Nice. Release and come on out. Come up to sitting. And we're coming right to child's pose. So once you come to child's pose, reach your arms forward, head down. It's kind of like a check-in. Checking in, you're seeing the first part of your session. And the motors are revving here, and you're like, okay, good. Now, we're gonna come back to downward facing dog. And as you come to downward facing dog, I want you first have your feet together and raise the heels and lower them. Both heels together, raise the heels, your body can come forward and then lower. Raise and lower. Now, raising a little bit and bend your knees a lot. Bend your knees a lot, and you're just like taking your tailbone up, and then straighten the legs and try to get your heels down. Now, bend your knees again and try to take your knees about an inch above the floor. Yeah. And then straighten the legs, bring your heels down, and go deeper into your stretch. One more time, heels raised, knees coming to about an inch above the floor. It looks like I'm kneeling, but I'm not. It looks like some of you are kneeling, but you're not. And then straighten, heels pressing down. And then we're going to come forward, and you're in plank. And then your knees come down. And it's about the size of a watermelon. So you can imagine there's a lot of watermelon underneath. You gotta keep working the seam now. And your chin is coming down. So you're elongating the front of your neck. Your chin is aiming to go forward of the hands. And your pelvis up in the air. Enough space there for a little watermelon. And then you drop your pelvis down. And the first time around, we're going to bring the elbows down here in Sphinx and sit your back to arch. So we're not just hanging out. I'm working with both. Down. And then let's come back. Downward facing dog. Feet are together. We're going to do that again. And your knees bending. Oh, bend them a lot, bring them really close down. And then straighten and get your heels to touch down or something like that. And then plank. You're still together. Knees are down. Your pelvis stays up. Your chin is aiming forward. The arms to the mat. There you are. There's a little weight on your chin. And then the tunnel collapses. And this time your hands are alongside the chest and you press and you have cobra. And in cobra, I actually want my thighs rounded. So sometimes it means elbows bent. And then press back, come back, child's pose. And we're out of that loop. You're going to come back, downward facing dog. And let's walk or spring to the front loop. Feet are together and hands to elbows. Take a moment to stretch your body, stretching the back of your body. You could wrap your arms around your legs, and you may have to bend your knees to go there. It's fine. Most of us bend the knees to go there. Some of you can straighten your legs to go there. Oh, that's intense, right? And then soften the knees, come on up and sweep the arms up. Extend, palms touch, look upward. Arch back here, trying to keep your arms alongside ears. And then hands to heart center. Okay, so again, I'm adapting this you know, this, it's like, say you have aerobics and you've got step aerobics, and body pump, you know, that sort of thing, so you have this elixir thing. Anyways, I'm just taking some of the poses I thought, it's actually all the poses, but I'm working just slightly differently. So toes turned out, heels turned in. If you want to turn on your mat, so you're like, you really have sticky mat part, that's fine. It's horse. So we're going to breathe in though, in out through the nose, not through the mouth. And I was going to go there, but that's okay. And then from here, let's have hands at heart, okay? You're upright, you're a little jack in the box. You're not going to shift forward. So inhale, exhale, down. First 5 are slow. Inhale up. You can do the ujjayi breath where you tighten the back of the throat a little bit. You constrict it. It's nasal breathing, but it feels very breathy. Inhale. Inhale. You could do ujjayi on the inhale as well. I'm just doing on the exhale. Inhale. Oh, it's really upright. Last one, that's slow. Inhale. And then the last 5 are fast. So you're not going to do the ujjayi breath. You're just going to take a breath in, exhale, inhale, exhale down, inhale up, that fast. 3 more. It's so hard to do and count and think about your breath. But anyways, I think that's about 5 right there. And then from here, come on down and push your knees back. And you can shift a little side to side. I just add a lot of counter poses in. Good. And press up and step to the front of your mat. I'll do it a little bit later. So as you're here, your hands are to first. It's warrior 1 is the future pose, okay? And basically you're gonna take your left leg, let's shift it back. And of course, really warrior 1, the heel is down. And we're looking at 5 rounds of breath. So pelvis is squared. To make it easier, you're closer in, make it more intense, you step back, hands are to heart. Reach the arms up. At first, the palms are together. And then you separate. You can look straight ahead of you or upward and focus on 5 rounds of breath. You can count this way. You can like go. Number 2, thumb to index finger. 3rd breath, thumb to the middle finger. That sort of thing. You can keep track or simply keep track. Any way you like. Feel your strength. I felt like having this guitar music today. You're dropping down, and then we're going to come back to plank. Yeah, there's this, what we would call a vinyasa between, but we go slowly, right? So we'll have the knees down, elongate the front of your neck, drop down, keep your pelvis up for a moment, and then collapse the pelvis and lift up. It's cobra, so your top of your thigh is grounded. And then press back for a moment. Come all the way back, downward facing dog. Walking or springing forward. Look at your knees. And then hands are onto the shin bones if possible. You're looking ahead of you. Fold it again. Sweep the arms up. Virabhadrasana 1, the second side. So your right leg up, right leg goes straight back. We're in a double trap. The heel. So I'm really working at how can I square? How can I get this 90-degree bend? On my left knee, hands are to heart. Up. Find the perfect position for your hands. Usually hands are shoulder distance. Look up if you can. And 5 rounds of breath. Nasal breathing. Feel your strength. Hands up to heart. Come back to plank position. Now, from plank position, you're pausing here. This time it's Chaturanga with the knees up if possible, halfway down to, and then upward facing dog. So elbows press straight down, halfway down, and then press into upward facing dog. Even if your knees are down, your thighs are up in this pose. Knees down, stretch out your back. Downward facing dog. And rock or spring forward. Let's hug the knees again. You can soften the knees. And you can also straighten the legs. And then sweep the arms out to the side and all the way up, palms touch, and arch back. And hands to heart center. Warrior two, did you guess that one? Did you know that was coming? Okay, warrior two then. So we go wide on the mat again, and you go left or right, whatever helps you to see, you know, I'm talking about in class. And then 1 foot, so 1 foot reaching out. I usually start from the left if I have it, and bending. To make it easier, you're closer in. To make it more intense, you go wide, and you're trying to get that 90-degree bend. Yeah. And then see that your back heel is going to point to the, yeah, there you go. And back heel pointing back to the mat. And it's 5 rounds of breath. Okay, so you're upright, not shifting to the left. You're upright with your spine. And breathe. Count your breathing. Enter this now moment with your breath. You're going to come out. Either you walk or you spring your feet together, and the feet are all the way together. And we're going to go up with the heels up and down, and up and down. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're facing me or outward, up and down. And then add your arms up. The arms come up and down. Your heels should be touching inside the feet, and up and down. Since most of your head will be up and hold. Reach up and hold. Breathe. Very full and down. It was very steady because everything's like awakened. And your legs are strong. So other side, Virabhadrasana 2. Your right foot leading. And I think for most of you. And then your back heel is pointing to the back into the mat. Yeah. And it's okay, so if you want to turn, I mean, you gotta understand, but yeah, it doesn't matter. And so some of us come forward on this, some of us shift over to the right. I want you to be in the center of this very moment. Your body's in the center, your mind is in the moment, and 5 rounds of breath. Coming out, and then walking or stringing feet together, going like an Olympian champion. And then feet, again, you're gonna raise and lower. I'm trying to keep my heels together. Raise and lower. Raise and lower. Let's raise the arms and hold. Gaze ahead of you or upward. Sorry. Okay, there we go. And then release. Okay. So front of the mat, and we're gonna come down. We have plank coming up. So and that's a kind of more than just the gas, it's the featured pose. So you could walk or spring back. And again, if you spring back, you land with a little bounce. Yeah. And left or right, it doesn't matter. You're gonna come to side plank. Now, the lower leg can come down to modify. Your feet can be side by side, 4 feet are stacked. Good. Your top arm could also come up over here. Beautiful. Let's go the other way. Arm is down, shifting, and extend. Arm maybe coming up overhead or staying up in the air. Breathe. And back to center. And it's your choice. You want to have your knees down, cobra, sphinx, upward facing dog. I'm going to do upward facing dog. Down, and then press, up, reach. Knees down, rest your wrists for a moment. Bring your hands back by your feet, lower your head. So just taking a moment, maybe you're comfortable sitting on your heels, not everybody is. I would say taking a block and adding a side bend here. So left or right, it doesn't matter. You're gonna reach one arm up in the air, up and over. Because there aren't many side bends in this sequence. So I want to add this and breathe. And then the other way, reach up, inhale, and exhale, come over. And then from here, a twist. So if some of you are sitting cross-legged, that's fine. And then you're twisting and you're looking back. And twist the other way. And look back. And releasing, interlacing fingers, reach up, you get a nice long spine, hands behind the back. And it's what we call hair pose, Shasana as in rabbit. So your hands are behind your back, you're gonna lower your head, your pelvis comes up off the block, your haunches are up in the air, your rabbit ears are sticking up high, those are your arms. And there's weight at the top of your head. And I want you to superimpose a circle onto the top of your head, almost like a little head massage. You're chomping on grass and your head's moving the other way now, the other circle direction. Good. And then removing the block and getting your toes prepared for the next one. So you curl your toes under. You know, some people have to stay here, they just can't sit back. And then others say, well, I could sit if I had a block, so I don't have to have too much compression on my knees. And others come down to sitting. So you are stretching your toes. Mm-hmm. And you know, this is interesting. Like probably like if you ask a child to do this, most children can do this, and then I don't know, something happens. Something happens, I don't know, and it's like, oh, my feet don't move that way. So this is actually, you may be wondering if this is good for me. This is actually really good for your feet, right? Yeah, and breathing in. But your knees have to handle the compression. Yeah, and some have had surgery and the bones are fused. That's not happening, right? Come out and then come back downward facing dog. Straightening out the legs. And then we walk forward. So you have the front end of your mat. And while you're looking at your feet, can you spread the toes? Can you lift all 10 toes and spread them? Yeah, don't answer. And then can you take your big toes down while the others are up? I know, it's funny. You should be able to, and then get the other all 8 toes down with the big toe up. And then release and come on up and sweep the arms up. So, and the hands. So in India, they're called toe fingers, right? Toe fingers, like, at least that's what, oh, you know, okay. Oh, okay. So my friend Arvin says, I hurt my toe finger, or my foot finger, that's it, sorry. I hurt my foot finger. I'm like, your foot finger. So it's not a toe finger, it's a foot finger. And I think that's really cute. I love it. So to me, your hand finger and your foot finger. And that, to me, that would be like, it would, because usually our fingers move and they're very dexterous, right? So it would be kind of like, oh, your feet can do that too. So I like that idea. We have chair pose, but it's a little different, okay? So you're going to determine which one is more challenging, okay? The regular old chair we always do. Feet are together, drop down. This is elixir yoga, and I'm telling you, they say 8 breaths. We're going to break up the 8 rounds of breath, okay? So your heels stay down, lift, and then one arm up, and then the other arm up. Your shoulders are down. They don't hug your ears, your shoulders. Good. Core is strong. Look ahead of you and breathe. 4 rounds of breath. Last one. Now you're going to take your right elbow across left knee, take your palms together. The pelvis wants to shift. Let your foot fingers be long. How's that? And palms are together. You're twisting. And maybe even looking up the ceiling. Who knows? And then just from here, you're going to come across the other way. Elbow, across, left elbow, across right knee. Twist and breathe. And unwind, swing the arms up. Palms touch. And hands to heart. Okay, so let's just see how this works. So now your heels are up on this one. Your heels are up. So that's kind of, your feet are together. And when I say feet together, I mean like the outer, the inner edge of the feet are gonna stay together. And your heels come up. You're already in the pose. And you're just gonna see, well, my heels are up, how low can I go? It depends on the strength of your quads and the health of your knees. It's going to determine how low you go. But my knees are definitely pressing in, my ankle bones are touching, my heels are raised. Look ahead of you, and then slowly press up and heels down. Hard. I think that's a lot harder. I mean, right? It takes a lot more concentration. And I was thinking, is it because I don't do that one? Or I think it takes concentration. Okay. So they do in elixir yoga, they do that and hold it for 8 breaths. Yeah. We're going to go into it again and hold it for 2 rounds of breath. So that's why I split up the breathing. Okay. So heels together. Raise the heels. Start to bend your knees. Reach your arms in place when you're not even all the way into it, and you're just seeing, well, what works for me, and breathe. Legs are strong. Most of us are looking down. I know it's just like so easier to look down if you can't look ahead of you. And then slowly press up, and then heels down. Oh, okay, we survived. We are strong. Okay. So it goes to crow, but let's come into a wide squat first, just to get our bodies ready for some form of crow. All right, so as you're here, if you wanted to really make this easier, there's a block on your left hand. It's a wide squat, and you're gonna reach up. I'm gonna go more narrow. So if you're narrow right now, that's fine. And then I'm gonna go the other way. Again, I like to show you the easiest way ever. And then down. From here, now, feet are mat. I'm facing in front of the mat now. Okay, and you're dropping down. If you have to, you would sit on a block. Maybe you can come all the way down. You're modifying. One hand down, one arm up. Try to open the thoracic, look up. And then the hand down and do the other way. Reach up. Oh, open the upper spine. And lower and push yourself up to standing. And feet are. And I'm silently thanking a teacher I had, Margaret McAndrew. When I first started yoga, 26 years old, with her. Yep. She, no, a little later on. 28 or something. Anyways, I would come into my spot and come up, and she came up to me and said, Fran, when you come out of the squat, I had no problem. I just pop up. She said, use your hands. Help push yourself up. That was her whole thing about coming up. Push yourself up. I'm like, oh, but I'm fine. I don't need my hands. You want to be, she was great. You want to be doing yoga when you're in your 70s, don't you? And she was like in her 70s. I said, oh, yeah. So use your hands to help yourself come up. That was nice. And I think about her. So I'm like, yeah. I'm not 70, but you know, it's like, yeah, why not? And the knees are out. Okay, so crow, how do we do this? So I would say, like you're gonna start out, and again, this is a way that works for many people. So you don't have to take flight today. You're fledgling, they take a while. You ever see the baby crows? They're bigger than their moms and dads, and they're like helpless. Have you ever seen they're like fluffy and they're way bigger, and they're like, and their parents are feeding them. Like you're like, always tell. She starts to not hear it right in the tree. I'm like, somebody wants to. Yeah, and yeah. So Carol's saying you can hear them. You can hear the baby crows. They're so obnoxious and they're demanding, you know, and they look huge. It's like, guys, they can't fly yet. They're still learning. They're just big toddlers. Okay, so here we go. We're dropping down, and then I have a block. So I'm gonna bravely bring one foot. And some of you love crow. Don't even do this. You must be flying right now. But some of you are like, oh, okay, I'm that big, loud, noisy, demanding crow. Fledgling, waiting. Okay, so here I am, and my feet are on the block, and it teaches me to get into position, to bend my elbows, to find the ledge of my upper arm, to feel that intensity. And some do take flight, right? Some take flight. And then come out and adjust your feet. What do you think?
Oh, I just went into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, I give you that invitation. And then come on up and stretch. So crow. What do you think about that one? It always hurts. So, you know, and I remember the very first time I did it, like I had little bruises. I had little bruises on my arm, like, oh my God, it's so tender. I have bruises from doing crow. Great. I don't anymore. That doesn't happen. Okay, we've got warrior 3. You knew that was coming. So let's just do a few different types. See, they say only 3 rounds of breath because they know how intense this is. All right, so let's do this. Right foot forward, left foot back. The left heel is up and your arms are up. And all we're going to do is like there's this unbroken line from our back foot to the block. And we're going to lift the left leg and a tap. Lift, tap, lift, tap. Okay, not so bad. and the other. So this is like skill building. Even if you're really good at warrior three, it's good to do these. Okay, so I thought just to get my back stronger. So arms are up, I'm upright, but I'm gonna pitch my weight forward. And I'm gonna lift, tap, use your glutes, lift, tap, lift, tap. Once you come out, push into the block. Just push, push, push. It's right in front of your sternum. Push, extend your back, engage your core, really use your muscles, your pectorals, but also use your core. Okay. Now, block again. First leg is up. Okay, the first side again. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to try to come a little further forward. And I'm going to lift, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift, tap. And hands down, give a little squeeze, push in, engage your core. In your mind's eye, see your abdominals active. Okay, and then other side, arms are up. My goal is to get you into warrior three, and you're going to say, God, it's so easy. Okay, so you come over, you tap in the lift, tap, lift, tap, lift. Good. Bringing the block down. You can do one or two. I think I'll just use one, but you can do two blocks. If you have two blocks, one is under each. So one leg down, one leg up, we'll do both sides. And as you're here, maybe you just bring your hands to your heart. The leg in the air, ankle is flexed. Variation on warrior three. Release. Second side. You could reach for your block initially. Once. Pelvis squared. Ankle flexed. And then hands to heart and breathe. I'm just looking down. And then come out and hands to heart. Okay, last one. So you have those choices. You're like, oh, I think we'll do that one again. Come on, or last one. No block, nothing. All right, so your hands interlaced with thumb, index fingers extended. When you come into it, bend your right knee. Start to come into it and then straighten your leg. And you are letter T for terrific, and you're looking forward and breathe. Now, to mountain, hands are to heart. And other side. See what I mean? It's doable. I mean, and if it's not, then you bring your hands on your back, make it easier. And then remember to bend, step into it. And then come into it slowly and breathe. You can look down, that's easier. Look forward. And your back foot toes are pointing down. It's hard, isn't it? It's intense, I know. He's smiling. I think you love these. You like the strong ones. Yeah. Okay. The last one, triangle to half moon. And if you prefer to stay in triangle, you may stay in triangle. You can go left or right. Yeah. So starting with my left, I'm extending, have a block handy if you like. Shift your pelvis. Reach up. And then again, some will stay here and some are coming to half moon. And in this particular sequence, they actually do that variation where your right hand holds your right foot, like a dancer pose. It's a hybrid. You can stay in your release. step to the front of your mat and pause for a moment, hands up to heart. Second side, and it'll be you're on the other side, and you've got your leading leg, extending the arms, breathe in. Start to shift, you have triangle. And some opted to stay here, that's fine, because triangle's pretty wonderful. Breathe. And some are coming into half moon, bending your knee, reaching for your floor or block. And also some are reaching for the back foot. Like that, and breathing. And come on out, and then step to the front of your mat. Good work. So that's it. The standing pose. Again. Exhale, coming to sitting. So once you come to sitting, we're just gonna take a moment. Take a moment and feel all that strength. We do have one more strength pose coming. I don't know if those online can actually hear the music, but probably. And you're gonna laugh, but this guitar music, I really like it, but I don't like the name. It's called sad guitar. Is that funny? It's called sad, but it's not sad. It's just really, it's beautiful. I don't know. So that's kind of funny.
It's a poor translation.
It's a poor, yeah. So yes, take a moment and just feel what you feel inside of you. Hopefully SAD is not a part of it. Just feeling present, clear, a sense of equilibrium is you, becomes you. And then we have our, so it basically, the movement that we look at is boat, canoe, and you're like, oh, okay. So we'll do it like a simplified way, and then I invite you to, up the ante with me. So you've got a block in place, and these are bent, and like you're holding the, oh, that's fun. I usually say like you're gonna round your back, like contour of a beach ball, contour of a watermelon. Okay, you come back, go back. And then you come up and you reach your arms up and you straighten the back. Check your alignment. Keep squeezing the block. Exhale back. And come up. Up. And a good counter pose, you don't have to have a block, is tabletop. So fingertips towards you. Press the pelvis up. Tilt your head down. And then lower. So that could be repeated, or you go to, it's like boat, you go to boat. The modified way is knees are bent, you go back, you straighten, and then you come back to boat where the knees are bent. And try it. Go back, straighten, and up. The other way is legs are straight, you become a canoe, you become a skull. Joyce got she does rowing, and then back. Ooh. and come forward, stretch out your spine. And breathe. Reverse the leg crossing and come forward again. So I invite you to, you can stay in the middle of the room, or like those here definitely have wall space, legs up the wall. If you're like, I don't really want to go legs up the wall, that's fine. Then you would just take a block underneath you and the legs come up in the air. Yeah. And the legs up the wall is very nice. It's very relaxing. And yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice to be to have that validation. Yes, you worked hard and you deserve this. Easy pose. Relaxed pose. And you're taking time here to let your shoulders drop to the mat. And notice, again, this equilibrium. This is a very symmetrical pose. Not all the poses are. There's a side 1 and a 2. This one, this is it. And feel how this is good for your immune system. Lymph fluid moves towards the heart. Feel the weight, a little more weight back of your head. And I know this sounds odd, but this is something I like about yoga. I don't know if this is a shared experience, but sometimes I feel like I'm in a pose like this and I think everything I need, I have right now. Like it's like this moment contains everything. I love that. You're going to slowly lower your legs and come to Shavasana for the last 5 minutes of your session. And if you're at the wall and you're like, I love it here, you can stay there, of course. And taking time to sink, to relax. Completely relax the tiny bones of your feet, your ankles. Relax your shin bones and your knee joints. Completely relax your thighs and your hip joints.
Completely relax the length of your spine. Let the length of your spine relax from your low back, lumbar, to middle back, upper back, neck. Completely relax. Completely relaxing your face, your eyes, your temples, the muscles around your mouth, your jaws relaxing, even your ears relaxing, forehead relaxed, brows relaxed. Relax your brain, heart, and feel very balanced, very relaxed from the toes to the crown of the head. I want to give you one more full minute here, just to simply be. And then you're going to start to deepen the breath. And start to turn to one side and make your way to sitting. Okay. We'll be ending our session with an old